Hey y'all, it's Indigo here. Got another Grand Arena round for you. First, let me give a quick shout out to my newest patron, Captain P77. Just signed up this morning. Glad to have you aboard. Appreciate it, man. Every bit helps support the channel. Let's go ahead and get into the battle board and let me show you guys how things went down. Uh, Check this out. So, my opponent had already gone, and I said both Galactic Legends down south, and I'll show you my teams later. And he did that, and he sent me a message saying his counters failed, but once he was in, he was all in on the bottom, and so he just went full bore and had nothing left to even try to clear the easier teams on the top. Um, we're gonna do it a little bit different. Let me show you what he's got. I I attacked his Ray. He put his Ray on the bottom. It was like a weird comp with double taunt, and my counter just hideously failed. And for some reason, the footage didn't save, and I don't have it. And I know what went wrong is I did the math wrong, and my uh, Vader was slower than his Finn ended up being, and he got the Inspire out, and that just made things all go to hell. But I'll talk about that at the end. Let's go through the teams that I did clear, and I'll just talk about it. And then at the end, I'll kind of explain, the battles that you don't see and what happened. So we're going to go up top. He's got a Newt team. He's got Nightsisters, and he's got Padme up there. The interesting thing is that he's low on Zetas. You can see he's missing a Zeta on Daka. And that was his whole roster. He's got like only 60 Zetas, but Relic 7 everything else. So that put him into, I guess, my kind of bracket, and here we are. So it's a little strange kind of how the teams are. Very well relicked. I'll tell you what, all these Relic 7s were just amazing. But we're going to go ahead and take out his top teams. You'll see that I'm missing a bunch of teams, and you'll see why later. So we're going to take Gas against Padme, and that was pretty much the best team I had that I knew would kill Padme and give it a good shot. So we used what we got. So I don't like this matchup because the banners can be horrible, and I just don't like how you have to do. I mean, constantly you're trying to hit and make a dent, and you really don't make any progress until you can get around to Rex's ultimate pretty much. But my goal here when I have to do Padme and use gas, I mean, if I ever have to do that, it does happen in Territory Wars, and it did used to happen in Arena when we were all running gas. So I just keep going after GK as much as I can. He keeps getting protection up. You really don't make any headway on him until you do hits by General Skywalker. The more you send gas over to him, he can do big chunks of damage. So then you'll finally start making some headway. But what you want to do is try and get over there to where you get Jedi Knight Anakin down. You see he's over there and he doesn't have any protection, and I got an armor shred on him. And right there I sent gas out to do an assist, and it was enough to knock him out. And if you can get rid of Anakin early, then you're in a lot better shape than if you got to deal with him getting extra turns and doing AoEs and everything that's going to kill your banners. It's not quite as bad now that I've gotten rid of him. The next biggest obstacle is getting rid of GK over there, just constantly taunting and tanking all the damage, and you just got to deal with it. So we keep going after him. There's not a lot you can do until you cycle around to Rexolate, whatever you want to call it, Rex's big hit. Then you can take him out. So it's up right now. We'll use that there. Now once GK's out of the picture, it goes so much easier. Check this out. Boom, got Padme into the red. Echo's grenade just wipes the board, and 57 banners there. Not that banners matter. You'll see. It's bad. But now we're using our own Padme against his Nightsisters. And It's kind of a pain, but you've got Ahsoka and Shakti in there, both of them with the Dispel on basic, which is huge because you can get rid of that dumb zombie taunt and actually do some damage to whoever you need to. So that's the goal, is just get rid of the dumb taunt and then focus on the weak one, usually Mother Talzin. They're all like Relic 7, so I don't know necessarily that there's a weak one to deal with. But that's who we're going after, Mother Talzin, just because she's generally squishy. So I was debating about if I wanted to put Retribution up or do the dog pile. I did go ahead and use the Retribution. Was able to get a kill there with Ahsoka. I like the fact that she assists constantly. That's great. Other than that, you just got to keep going after characters when you get a chance. I'm trying to get Daka out because obviously you don't want Daka reviving at the wrong time and having to kill somebody over and over again. Like I pointed out earlier, thankfully she doesn't have the Zeta, so she's not going to be gaining constant health every time somebody dies. I think that's a huge kind of misstep on his part, but you know, you gotta be frugal with your Zetas when you only have 60 of them, and typically, you know, like I have 100 somewhat, and so he's well behind. It would be like a newer Kraken account that just buys the relics, but Zetas, you really can't rush those. So he doesn't have it, and it does hurt him here, even though Padme is a pretty good counter anyway to Nightsisters. So just trying to finish them off. I've got a Saj left to deal with, and then of course Spirit and Zombie. You just get hits in on them whenever you can, but Asajj is the next biggest threat. Get rid of her. Now it's just Spirit. And finally we just got to clean up Zombie and call it good. So kick, and there we go. Done with that for another 57 banners. Now his Newt team. And I wasn't sure what to use on this. I was running low at this point. And again, I'll show you all this at the end. I know it's not terribly exciting at the moment because you're kind of thrust into the middle of everything and like there's no build up and all that good stuff. But he's got this new team here, and I'm using EP with Scion. I've got Nihilus. I've got IPD and Shore, whom I both recently relic those. They're like Relic 5 now. You know, I spent good materials to take them from Gear 12 all the way up to Relic 5, and I found out that I barely even use them because I thought I was going to need them for a Ray counter, Galactic Legend Ray counter, and it turns out I end up using Traya and mostly Bastilla Sean Fallen. Sometimes EP, but mostly Bastilla and Traya, and not IPD and Shore. But I guess it is good to have them. I mean, a pre-taunting tank that heals you. Can't go wrong with having that at Relic. So, I do have him. He put up, you know, a bit of a fight, but he went down, and IPD with Relic still didn't put up any kind of fight at all. Scion's frozen without Traya there to just get rid of the debuffs. And I didn't even get to get Annihilate off from Nihilus. So maybe I should have led with this team and gone in with this first. I don't know that it would necessarily matter. At least I was able to get rid of Dooku, so I let it be. And I don't have to deal with that here. But I've got JTR, which is a pretty standard counter to a Newt team. Like I said, maybe I should have led with that. I don't know. Going after Droideka first. Get him out of there. That way I don't have to worry about any big hits. Don't have to deal with that mess. Now just trying to play the control game. Use stuns from Finn. Use turn meter reduction. Give myself crit hits to proc the exposes to get turn meter on my side. And that's what Holdo is good for with her AoE. Stick Ray even. She's got multiple hit attacks, so that helps there. Boost up some turn meter, and she does heavy damage. So you can see I'm knocking through the rest of this team. I just had to wait for Jango's damage immunity to go away, and now that it's gone, I can focus on him and get him out of there. So there we go, one death, and working on the second one. Again, go for Finn's stun, and now Illuminated Destiny. So there we go. easy cleanup, I guess. But, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to get through at this point. Because my opponent had messaged me. I don't know if I told you all this. I was messaging with my opponent, and he said that his ray counters failed, and he went all in on the bottom. And he did. He spent loads of battles on the bottom, and it eats up all your good squads. So he didn't have anything to attack the top with. And I've got squads on top that you can't really grind down that much. You know, it's just, you can't just keep sending in peons and killing one character at a time. Okay, now we unlock the fleets, and you see he's got Negotiator back there. I'm going to leave these fleet battles in, and yes, I did say fleet battles, as in multiple. I hate fleet. I really can't stand it, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I will tell you that right now. So it's a Negotiator mirror match, and I don't know. I bring in all my reinforcements. I've not faced this starting comp, and those Y-Wings are kind of difficult to get around. I'm struggling with those a little bit. So I'm not really used to how to play this one. When I go after Anakin, and I don't know, it just didn't really turn out too well. As you can tell from the way I'm talking about it, it definitely wasn't an easy 60 banner win, I'll tell you that. So I'm going after his Anakin, trying to do something. The AoEs, look at that. Look at my Anakin ship already in the red. And so I'm thinking about, do I do that buff that keeps him alive? So that's what I did, so he could live, a little bit longer, doing AoE there. Get some extra damage in while he's alive. He brings in that clone sergeant ship as a tank. And so far, I haven't really scratched his team at all. And he's going all off on mine. So I can bring in a reinforcement here. And I brought in Ahsoka. Figured she can do some damage. I'm going after his clone ship. Check this out. They kill my Anakin ship, and that's the heavy damage dealer. But okay, I can live without that. I've been able to make it through and kill things. But already he's got those dive bombers coming in. The other Y-Wings or whatever they are. And I got bombs. Look at my Ahsoka. Almost dead over there. I'm just making no progress. And look at his ship though. I get all the way to the red. He kills my Ahsoka. And not enough damage to kill his clone sergeant ship. And then it gains protection back. So I'm not doing much of anything. Bring in Plo Koon because I'm trying to just grasp at straws to stay alive here. At this point, I'm just trying to kill something. I want to, I know I'm going to have to come in and do cleanup, but I'm just trying to kill something and make my life easier the next round. I got to kill something. And it gets to that point where it's like, okay, instead of winning, I just need to make some kind of progress. And it's not happening. Look at that. He's got full protection on that clone sergeant. I think it would help if I knew what I was doing, but since I really don't know when it comes to fleet, and I will be the first to admit that, it's a struggle. So look, more dive bombers coming in there. My Houndstooth already dead. Fives doing a last-ditch effort to shoot something. My Y-Wing is only 6 stars. I'm slowly working on that. Spend too dang much money on this game, so I'm not going to rush it and buy shards and stuff like that. I'm just trying to farm it as fast as I can. Still got one more star to go, and it just goes down like a chump. So that was the end of Negotiator Mirror Match. So that, okay, I'll bring in Millennium Falcon fleet, and let's see what happens there. Maybe I can kill a couple ships, do something, do some damage. I sped this up, by the way, just so it didn't take forever. But, you got the AoEs, you got target locks, all kinds of good stuff. Got Anakin down into the red. And then he puts that health buff thing right back on where he comes back alive or whatever. So I got that to worry about, not really making too much progress. Went after that clone ship, finally got it down. You can see my opponent's message down there in the corner. I told him I'm like, well, my ray counter didn't work, so I guess I'm stuck there too. And he said he's watching my ship battles, you know, praying that I fail. So I hope he watches this video, you know, what there is of it, and he sees that his fleet is deadly. Like, I'm struggling here, and I'm trying to get that last bit of damage to kill something. You can see I got a couple of them in the yellow, and I just couldn't get a reinforcement in. They killed my Falcon, and that's the main damage dealer. That's it. And then he brings in Plo Koon, heals everybody back up. It's like, well, that was pointless. All that for nothing. I did all that and it accomplished absolutely nothing. So now we bring in the finalizer, which mine's 6-star, so I'm working on that. But my first order ships are pretty good. Obviously, I've got Supreme Leader Kylo, so all my first orders relicked up and everything. So I do manage to make at least a little bit of headway here. I have no idea what this move does, but there you go. I shoot it at that Y-Wing, and it puts that debuff on there. And I'm just trying to do some heavy damage. All I know from first order is that that silencer can put in some work once you have advantage on it. And it's got that, it starts with the buff that it gets from reinforcements. I guess they start like that. I really have no idea on the kit for this. I like, struggle my way through earning the blueprints for the finalizer when it comes back around. But I haven't like practiced and tried to use this as a legit counter for anything. I just know you pretty much send advantage over to the silencer and let that do all the work. Like stun and do the big hit, and it can take out a lot of things. So that's all I'm trying to do here, is find out what's going to give me the most chance of killing something. And can I send some turn meter over to that silencer? You know, it's dazed, but is there any way I can clear off those debuffs or anything? And I don't know what moves do what really, but I'm making a little bit of progress. Was able to kill off that Y-Wing tank, and that's a big plus, getting rid of that guy. Now I'm trying to at least get rid of his Anakin, which is the main damage dealer over there. We've got so many fleets nowadays, you know, that I guess I'm thankful in that respect that we don't just have 2 chances. We've got like 5. You know, if you put down one fleet on defense, you've got all the rest of your fleet to work with to whittle down this one fleet. And so that's what it looked like, and that's where I was at. And I didn't end up being able to film it all, but I was able to start it back up because I didn't think this would work. I used the Raddus, and the Raddus fleet with resistance was able to knock it down, finish it off for 28 banners. I was amazed that I got through it. I thought for sure I was going to be stuck. So I was able to finish that right there, get his fleet down, and so that's a full clear on the top, and that puts me ahead of him. And he said he was stuck. He said he couldn't kill any of those 3 squads up on my top side, and I thought I had some easier stuff there, but I mean, I guess not. Let me show you guys what I put down on defense. Alright, we're going to start here down at the bottom. I've got my Rey, and I put the bros there. I've got L3 as a taunt, and then I put Malik in there, just because, you know, fuck it. And then I've got Supreme Leader Kylo, also with double tank. Got Crew and Faust in there, Red Trooper and Hux. So he struggled, but he did get through. So I guess he did a better job than I did. He grinded his way through, and then my teams in the back was just a Newt team, and then some a leftover scoundrel team. And that new team, he dropped a battle, so that was surprising. I mean, every bit helps, you know. So he dropped a battle there, gives me a little more leeway, since we all know you get more banners for clearing the bottom than you do the top. But he used enough teams dropping all those battles. This is what happened to me. My Rey counter failed because I did the math wrong and calculated Vader's speed wrong. And so Finn was faster than my Vader, got that Inspire out, and yeah, things did not go very well. So once that counter failed, I tried my Geos, I tried my Jedi Knight Revan with Jedi Knight Luke. That whole squad and using all those Jedi. I tried everything I could do to start getting people down. And I got Zalbar down. That was it. I could not get anyone else down. I threw freaking Imp Troopers in there. It was like kitchen sink mode when I got Rey down into the red. None of those, I think one of those was a battle just to get her to suicide a bit and use lifeblood. And then the rest of them were all, honest to God, efforts to attack. And I just got nowhere. Here's his Finn, pretty fast, 328 plus 30, so 358. I did the math with the team I used. My Vader came out to 357 point something. So I was just short, and I meant to use my EP instead of Bastila Fallen to get the extra 8 speed, and I forgot. But here's the Inspire. They get all the counterattacks. They get extra defense, tenacity. So none of my buffs were landing, and I was getting counterattacked for every move I did. So my Vader paid the price. And even though he's Relic 7 now, he was only Relic 5 at GAC lock. And he went down pretty fast. And then they just killed Thrawn, killed everybody. It was not pretty. So nothing worked. And that's the thing I don't like about Galactic Legends. Like, you have to save so much firepower to get through them. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it's a horrible mess. And it's like, good luck to you if you can grind it down. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But that's my match. My opponent had tried up top and he couldn't get through any squads at all. So that's the final score, I guess. I end up winning this match and he congratulated me. And I told him it was very fun, but very frustrating, So good luck there. We'll see you guys in the next round. Sorry I didn't get all the footage in there. But hopefully, you guys learned how frustrating Galactic Legends can be. And we'll catch you guys in the next round. Shout out to my buddy Mikayas. He runs a modding service. He'll go through, make sure you got the right squad compositions and the right mods on the right characters. Give your account a real nice tune-up. I'll put the link to his Discord in my description. Go ahead and check him out. Tell him Indigo sent you. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share your comments down below, and hopefully you'll check out my other videos on my channel. Peace.